Yeah, we're continuing with equations. If, for example, they give you another type of equation, let's say they say equations like they put a square root on top, they put 3x plus 1 for you here, okay, and then they say is equal to, let's say they say it's equal to 2. They tell you to find x. Whenever you see things like square root on top of any algebraic fraction, when you see a square root, how do you solve such questions? The first thing you do is you remove the square root. That's the first thing you do. But how do you remove it? You square both sides. So you put this, in brackets, and then you put this in brackets, and also what you put, also the other side you put in brackets. You square that, okay? You square both sides. This square cancels with this square root, okay? What remains is this one here. So what remains, it is 3x plus 1 is equal to 4. So 3x plus 1, okay, you're solving now. So 1 goes the other side, 1 goes the other side, is equal to 4 minus 1, it is 3x is equal to 3, okay? So 3x is equal to 3, we're solving for x, so 3x is equal to 3, you divide by 3, you divide by 3, x is equal to 1. That's how you solve this. So the answer is x is equal to 1. That's all. This is the answer. Okay? Example 2. If they put for you 2 square root 4x minus 2 is equal to 5, for example. We're finding x. The first thing you do is you remove this. Since it is 2 square root, the first thing you do, okay, let me put what there, let me put 6. Okay, this is a question. Okay, yeah, 2 square root 4x minus 2 is equal to 6. That's a question. This is a second question. The other question, so how do you find x? The first thing you do is, have you seen this? There's a times here, even if I haven't written for you here, there's a times. You just know it exists. It's 2 times the square root of x, but I won't write it. But if it's written like this, it means there's a times after 2. So what's the first thing you do? You divide the 2 on both sides so that you eliminate the 2 first before you remove the square root. So you say 2 square root 4x minus 2 is equal to 6. You divide both sides. This side you divide by 2, even the other side you divide by 2. So these 2 come out. What remains is the square root of 4x minus 2. What remains is the square root of 4x minus 2 is equal to 2 into 6. It is 3 times. When you reach here, you remember what to do. You remove the square root. You remember this part. We said for you to remove the square root, you put the square root, this part, you put it in the brackets. You square it. Even that side, what you put, also side you put in brackets. We said this square cancels with this one. What remains is 4x minus 2. So 4x minus 2 is equal to 3 squared is 9. Okay, 3 squared is 9. So it will be 4x is equal to 9 plus 2. What do you have? You say 4x is equal to 9 plus 2 is 11. You divide by 4, you divide by 4. So 4x is equal to 11. You divide by 4, you divide by 4. So x is equal to 11 over 4. Okay, that's the answer. That's all. That's how you solve this. That's how you solve these. They are not complicated. That's how you solve them. Lastly, if they are to give you 2, maybe they put a minus here. They say minus 3x plus 1 is equal to 6. Have you seen this one the way it is? It's different from the other one. Why? Because here they've put for you this sign. There's a minus. The other one didn't have this sign. If there's a minus or plus, the other one didn't have. The one we're from doing didn't have a sign between 2 and the square root. There was nothing. When there's a sign there, how do you solve it? It means this one has to cross to this other side of the equation. It has to move. So meaning what I'll remain with is the square root of 3x plus 1 is equal to 6. When this 2 is positive, when it crosses, it will become minus 2 this side. Okay? That's how you solve it. So it's negative. What remains is negative of this square root. What do you do? So we remain with negative 3x plus 2 is equal to 6 minus 2. It is 4. Okay? When you reach here, you have to remove this negative by dividing both sides by negative 1. So you divide both sides by negative 1. Okay? So this side I divide by negative 1. Also that side I divide by negative 1. So this negative comes out first. Okay? It will be, what will remain there, it's what? The square root of 3x plus 2 is equal to negative what? 4. Okay? Because negative 1 into 4, it's negative 4. What do you do here? You said you square both sides. If you remember, for me to remove the square root, you put this in bracket, square it is equal to negative 4. So we put it in bracket, square it. This one cancels with this. What remains is 3x plus 2. What remains is 3x plus 2 is equal to negative 4 squared. It means negative 4 times negative 4, which will give me 16. Okay? Negative 4 squared here. This negative 4 squared, it means negative 4 times negative 4, which will be equal to 16. Okay, so 16. You make x a subject, that is 3x is equal to 16. 2 goes the other side, it becomes negative. That is 3x is equal to 14. So you divide both sides by 3. That is 14. You divide by 3 this side, by 3 this side. X is equal to 14 over 3. That's how you solve it. Hope I'm clear.